couple of days ago on this channel, I did a video talking about charities and how every single restaurant and store that you walked into was asking you to round up or donate $1 for certain causes. And that must have really hit a nerve because that video within a couple of days already received well over 100,000 views. But what I didn't tell you in that video was, well, there's going to be a part 2. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why sometimes charities feel like scams and why sometimes they are. Now, let me tell you a little story, but before I do, I want to let you know that we just went over 1,000 subscribers. This is a new channel. We got many, many rants coming, my friends. So get subscribed, hit the bell notification, because if you're tired of trying to make sense of a world that no longer makes sense, this might be the channel for you. All right, here we go. A couple years ago, I received a phone call from a local number, and I have kids that go to school. So anytime I see a local number that I don't know, I automatically start getting nervous and think that something happened at the school. So I answer the phone and I hear a deep, friendly voice on the other line saying, "Hi, this is Mike from the Firefighters Support Alliance program." You know how it goes. You've received those calls. Somebody that's very confident on the other line talking about how they're gonna start raising all this money for the local fire department and how we would really like to receive a $100 donation to help those firefighters. They're real official sounding, they're real confident. And because of my giant man heart and somebody that likes to give to charities, I gave $100 to the Firefighters Alliance. And now I'm gonna tell you why I wish I never would have and why you shouldn't either. You see, this was the first time I ever received a call like this, and Mike sounded like a really nice guy. However, the problem was Mike wasn't real. Mike was an evil robot dick. And ever since I took that call from the evil robot dick Mike, well, let's just say that Mike and some of his friends turned into a real stalker. You see, at the time, I didn't realize that Mike, the evil robot dick, was part of a much larger telemarketing network designed to take your hard-earned money and were keeping a large portion of that money for themselves. And this is how it works. So you get a call from one of these local numbers, and if you really paid attention, they sound like one of those old AI voices. It sounds like they're reading from a script. You interrupt it, "I'm sorry, who is this?" And it pauses like it's confused. You ask a question and it comes back with, "Sorry, didn't quite get that." And then it jumps right back into the pitch. You know why that happens? It's because it's not a real person at the end of that call. These charity calls, especially the ones for the police and fire department, are almost always made by giant for-profit telemarketing companies. They sign deals with nonprofits that usually have impressive names like the National Fallen Officers Relief Fund or Firefighter Support Foundation. They sound official. They sound local. They sound like you're helping the community, but what they don't tell you is this. Most of the money that you give to them never goes anywhere near a police department or fire station. Investigations have shown that charities that use professional telemarketing companies often only keep 10 to 30% of what's raised. The rest is going to the telemarketers. Well, by the way, I have sources and links in the description below if you want to check those out. And one Washington Post investigation said in some cases it's even worse. One national campaign ran through a telemarketing firm delivered only 22% of the money that they raised for that specific charity. And to break that down into simple math, that means that they kept $78 of the $100 that you gave to that charity. Charity Watch broke down an even more extreme example where a charity raised $2 million through a telemarketer, but the telemarketers kept $1.5 million and the charity only received $500,000. And here's the thing, when the robot voice is telling you that your donation goes directly to helping local first responders, it's technically not lying about the destination of the small portion that makes it to the charity. But holy shit, it's completely leaving out the part where the telemarketer drives home with 70 or 80% of your money. And here's the kicker, a lot of these calls try to make you think that they're connected to your actual local police or fire department, but most departments don't raise money over the phone at all. Some even publicly warn that phone solicitations claiming to represent them are scams. And just for an example, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation states, the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation does not now and never has solicited individual donations over the phone. It's emotional manipulation, basically. And these type of quote-unquote charities, they play off of our trust. And why do they do it? Well, because it works. But let me tell you the part that really drives me nuts. The way these operations use your phone number. Let's say you do donate. Now I receive calls every single day, and they don't just say hi there. They actually know my name. And how does that work? Well, let's just say you donate just one time. You think that you're doing the right thing, helping first responders put their lives on the line every day, but behind the scenes, donating flips a switch in their system. You now go from a random number that they call every once in a while during dinner time to a verified donor who can be guilted into giving again. When you give, it actually puts you on a golden tier telemarketing list. And yes, the industry actually resells your donor data. Donors who give once are more likely to give again, and the telemarketers share, trade, and sell those lists. The FTC has warned that donating once can result in an increase in telemarketing calls because your number is now considered verified. And let me tell you, that is 100% correct. You see, ever since I gave them that $100 donation, I've been held captive on my phone. Not only do I receive a call every single day from one of these charities, I also get calls now from just random salespeople. So they took my kindness and basically sold it to the highest bidder. And again, it's not just charity calls that I get. I literally have people trying to sell me light bulbs. Light bulbs. And the crazy thing about it is these scumbag telemarketers even have a name for this behind the scenes. They literally refer to these as sucker lists. But what really starts drawing people in on these recordings is that a lot of people think that these people that they're talking to are real. The AI voices reading pre-recorded lines, the soundboards that pretend to laugh or even ask follow-up questions. These soundboard systems let one operator run multiple calls at once, which is why conversations feel so unnatural. The FTC has been fighting these for years because they make deception easier. Here's something that's even worse. Once your number gets into that system, it never comes out. Telling them to take me off your list does absolutely nothing, and there's no legal reason why they have to. You see, there is a national do not call list, the one you sign up for to stop annoying sales calls. Telemarketing companies calling on behalf of charities are legally exempt from those rules. This is because Congress created exemptions for groups soliciting charitable contributions. The internal do not call list, if you ask the person on the phone to stop calling, they are supposed to put you on an internal list that prevents that one specific charity from calling you again. And even though that doesn't work, you end up with 53 other charities that start calling you. But because they are designated as charities and they're exempt from the national do not call list, the telemarketing firm can simply hang up, wait 5 minutes, and call you back on behalf of a different charity that they also manage, and there's almost nothing you can do to stop it. And because the majority of the cash go to these scumbag telemarketing companies, not the actual charity, these companies have every reason to keep calling you, keep pushing, and keep selling your information to the next charity on the list. Look, we all respect police and all respect firefighters, and we want to make sure that we raise money for our local fundraisers that show up at my front door. I'd be the first person to help out, but these phone charities, most of them have nothing to do with the men and women actually doing the job. If you want to support your local first responders, call the fire station or the police department directly or visit their official online site. But that voice calling on your phone, it's got to stop. That deep sounding sergeant guy, that overly polite lady with the perfect script, 9 times out of 10, that's not a sergeant. That's not a dispatcher, that's not a firefighter. It's a telemarketer using AI pushing a pitch, hoping you don't question it. So the next time you get a call asking if you want to help your local police or support your brave firefighters, just remember the best way to support them is to skip the phone call and give directly to the people actually doing the work. But definitely don't give money to a robot with a fake name. They're calling you from a spoofed number and pocketing 80% of your donation. If you ever wonder why your phone blows up nonstop after donating just one time, well, now you know why. If you want to see part 1 of this video and why they always ask you to donate at your local restaurant and store, well, check out this video right here and we'll be back with more videos soon.